Greetings. This is your brother Willie Muhammad with I Have a Testimony. Thank you for tuning into National Network View, and stand by because we have our guest today with us, the comedian Corey Holcomb.
God came to us to seek and to save that which was lost. He raised a man from among us.
He, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, laid the foundation. What I'm doing is something that comes from him through me, and the thing that he uses in me to do the work is my faith in him and the word that he taught. To produce men and women who wanted to clean up their life and build an independent nation for the glory of God.
Greetings, family. And once again, thank you all for tuning in to another broadcast or another episode of I Have a Testimony. Our guest today is Brother Corey Holcomb. He'll be joining us soon. So in the meantime, as we await for our brother to tune in, as I said, we thank you for your patience and we thank you for tuning in. We want to just go over some of our normal announcements so that we can do it in the beginning, so we won't have to do it in the end. All right. So as you all know, here in the city of New Orleans, we're working to pay off the mortgage for our building, and so that we can do more. Here in the city of New Orleans, you know, we deal with violence, with the gun violence. And one of the initiatives that we launched is Squash the Beef Hotline. And since 2011, here in the city of New Orleans, we've been able to successfully resolve over about 89 conflicts, ranging from small fights to people getting shot. And we're also helping to do this around the country. So when you help us, it would help us to be able to use the funds we will normally pay to a black bank to be able to better serve our community. So in addition to this service, also during COVID, people are losing their family members. They're losing their jobs. Their relationships are being stressed. If you need one of us to pray for you, or you need our prayer group to pray for you, please do so. We got word that our brother, who was one of our guests here, Brother Captain Emeritus Dennis Muhammad, was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And he sent me word that the doctor just cleared him and said that he's free from the cancer. But we submitted his name to our prayer list as well. So submit your information, submit your name, the name of your family members, and we'll definitely offer up some prayers for you. So today, brothers and sisters, we have our guest. He's here. And in preparation for this interview, I pulled up a quote by the comedian Eddie Griffin. And Eddie Griffin said the following about stand-up comedy. He said, quote, "Stand-up comedy is a science. Every comedian is a psychology major naturally." And if this is end of quote, and this is my words, if this is the case, what Eddie Griffin is saying, then our guest today he has a PhD in the field of psychology, our brother, Corey Holcomb.
What's up? How much money do a dude got to have to be considered a baller? A lot? Not a lot. I think it's relative, because I took this girl to go see the movie Barbershop, and we went to the Cheesecake Factory after that, and she was like, "I ain't never been with a baller before." You know what I'm saying? So I just know not to bring her around y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, look here, let me ask y'all something, ladies. Some of y'all got your hair cut in the real short hairstyles. Look, that look nice on some of y'all. Some of y'all might want to reevaluate the situation, you know what I'm saying? You big forehead women, look, if your forehead look like an expedition windshield, you might want to keep a bang in the front of shit. That's all I'm trying to say.
So today, brothers and sisters, we have with us our brother, the great comedian, the great actor, the talk show host, and even the businessman, Brother Corey Holcomb. Thank you for joining us, my brother.
What's up, man? Y'all can hear me clear and everything?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. Thank you, my brother.
Hey, man, what's up? It's a pleasure to do your show. My brother, Rizza Islam, was the connection for me to be on the show with you guys. And soon as I got on earlier with you guys, it's a feeling I get. It's a light that comes because, you know, in this society, it's a lot of young people who are lost. So as soon as I see the brothers and sisters who seem like they're on the right track, it brings a real it brings happiness into my soul. So your haircut and everything, I ain't used to all that, man. That's what's up, my brother.
Yeah, man. You cracked some jokes on me and my staff before we started, but we take that. We understand. So I like to get right down to it, man. We'll get into this to the questions. My first question to you is, my brother, is first, how did you become interested in comedy as a career?
It really was something that always called to me, because I felt like there was situations where I stood out with some of the things that pop in my mind as people talk. And in grammar school, it's not good because you get on the teacher nerve. But as I got older and the teachers started laughing, I knew I was on to something. So it was always something that called to me, man.
And you say as early as grammar school, you knew that that was something that you're calling. So in my research, I found out you're from Chicago. And I've traveled to Chicago and we have our Savior's Day conventions. And man, Chicago, we come there when it's cold. So there's a lot of cold weather, steel, rusty steel. How has being raised in Chicago influenced your style as a stand-up comedian?
Well, I've seen a lot. I grew up in Robert Taylor homes in Chicago, and then my mother got her Section 8. I think a lot of people know what Section 8 is. Then we moved to the north side of Chicago, where it was supposed to be the upper class folks, but they got the hood is everywhere. So just being in the mix of a whole lot of different things, I've learned a whole lot of different things, and I always apply it to what I say on stage. So Chicago was a city that was like, it was truly the bricks, and it made me who I am. But I feel like if you're a moral person, no matter where you come up, righteousness gonna take over.
That's something, man. And I came across an interview. I watched the interview you did with Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club. You've been on there several times. But in one of the interviews, you acknowledged how challenging it is, the reality of our communities, how challenging it is. But you spoke to Charlemagne about the need of not giving up on our people, you know, in the end. And as I said earlier, seeing the reality, like in Chicago, you see the shootings, you see the violence, but what makes you you're a comedian, you're a celebrity. What is it that allows you not to give up on them despite that reality we see in our communities?
Wow, I'm glad you asked me that, because I think the true answer is my heart is with the people, man, and it's always been that way. My heart is really with the village, and I have an understanding of what's really happening. I understand that we're in a bad place as far as it go with leadership in this nation. Like the things that our brothers and sisters are influenced to believe in, taught how to go about things this way. It has really, I know how much it's disrupted the family, and even though there is chaos with us as people, I've never felt to give up on us. I've always been the one to be like, something's going to happen one day where everybody's going to just wake up and see that most of the stuff that we are taught to do is nonsense. And because I had that hope, something is going to happen where everybody just wakes up one day and be like, wow, I don't doubt the people. I don't doubt them. I just know that they're misled. I'm from Chicago. I call it the fatherless city. And it's like that in most cities in America, but I know Chicago, most people don't grow up with a dad in the house. And with no dad in the house, you miss out on a lot. And it's set up where there's no dad in the house. I got a t-shirt that I made. It says, it's for DCFS, disconnecting child's fathers systematically. It's a cold world out here, man, but we can't give up on each other.
And that's a beautiful spirit to have, brother. And that reminds me of just what the minister tells us about not giving up on our people as well. From my study of you as a stand-up comic, I can tell, brother, even in your interviews, that you are very comfortable and secure in who you are as a person. And as a result of that, you do not allow the criticisms as it relates to your style of comedy to stop you from being who you are. So have you always been that way, where you were secure in yourself, or was that a pattern that you had to grow into, like many people have to?
Well, I think I was always secure with myself, but as you live and learn, I confirmed my security within myself by different things that just came to me. An example is one day on 79th in Stony Island, I bought back then it was DVDs or whatever, and it was listening to the minister talk. And of course, being from Chicago, you've heard of the minister, you heard of Farrakhan, but I had never heard him talk. But from the second I heard him talk, it was confirmation that I'm not by myself in my thoughts and beliefs. You know what I'm saying? And it made me feel so good that somebody else was maybe talking the way I think. I was like, yo, this is good. I'm not alone. I just thought I was, because of the way we're taught in school and everything else. Even my mother's church, the people didn't think like I thought. But it's not because they're necessarily bad people. They're just, I look at them as the cattle, the sheep. And I say this stuff to say, like, throughout life, especially if you're blessed to live as long as I have, because I'm old. This is medicine in my hair. But no, what I'm saying, as you live, you learn, man. You things are going to reveal themselves to you. You're going to see things that help you understand what you need to understand. But acting on it is the thing you need to do. And if you want to know how to better yourself at acting on it, you have to make sure you're listening and surrounding yourself by people of positivity, people who are moral. Energy is real. If you're around somebody with bad energy, it's going to eventually bring you down. If you're around people with good energy, it's going to pull you up. Trust me, people with bad energy, you have to get away from them, or they can disrupt your belief system in a way where you can be held back tremendously.
I agree 100%. And since we're talking about your stand-up comedy, like, I've seen you in your interviews where you talk about how sometimes people mistake your comedy as who you are as a person. And you talk about how you're really not like that. This is just comedy. So with that said, how do you respond to those who say that your brand of comedy is misogynistic toward women?
I can respond by saying this. There's a message in what I do. And I don't expect everybody to catch it, but I can't slow down for everybody. But if you're trying to find out who a person is, first of all, never go off what the media say they are, especially mainstream media, because we know the mainstream media wants to make the people who are out to say something that can help the people a bad guy. Remember that. But if you really want to know who a person really is, I would say try to find out about the people who's been around him, because me, myself, philanderer may be a word that describes me, but a lot of women that I have gotten to know in my lifetime are still my friends. And I believe if you ask them who Corey was, they wouldn't tell you bad things about me. They may be frustrated because I didn't go along with the program they wanted me to go along with, but the people who are around you, they know who you are, and as a group, what they have to say about you means something.
Very good, man. And what you said is true. And as we're going to talk about it later in the interview, the minister has been, there are people who charge Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan with being misogynistic, and I'm just like, wow. So we're going to talk about that later in the interview. Now we're going to go to our first commercial break. So thank you all for tuning into National Network View. Let's pause for a moment for these brief announcements. Peace.
I thought Facebook was...
Look, I ain't never met Minister.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps us to highlight solutions for a brighter tomorrow. Go to nnvnews.com/donate.
This is Sister Sajda Muhammad. We are proud to announce that the Sajda House commemorative Elijah coins are finally here. This priceless heirloom, made from recycled copper from the messenger's home, is now available at sajdahouse.com.
The hashtag Bank Black social media campaign made strides not only in revolutionizing how we bank, but also how we think. The movement inspired thousands of African Americans across the country to transfer or deposit millions of dollars into Black-owned banks. These are banks that will invest in urban communities, employ African Americans, support Black businesses, and inspire Black home ownership. This is a very proud moment for our culture as we are taking small, but significant, steps towards building Black power through Black wealth.
Please share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. Follow us on social media at NNV News, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel at National Network View. I am Anissa Muhammad with NNVnews.com.
We're back, and I have a testimony, and this is your brother Willie Muhammad, and we're here with our special guest, a very funny comedian, our brother Corey Holcomb. So, brother Corey, this is a two-part question. You know, you've worked in the entertainment industry, which is also in Hollywood, which is considered to be the mecca of the entertainment industry, right? And you have seen people from your interviews where they hold their tongues, they compromise when they know the truth, but they compromise in order to keep a certain role or a gig, right? And they do this for the purpose of protecting their career and other reasons. So my first question to you is, despite you not being that, you still are able to get work. What do you attribute your ability to still be successful in your career despite not playing the game?
Well, playing the game is just it's really devastating. Like when I first moved to California, it took me maybe about a year and a half, 2 years to realize what the entertainment industry was about. And it's one of the few things in life that really had me depressed, because I had been chasing it for so long. And when I found out how it really goes, how the game goes, what the Hollywood elite class is expecting of somebody like me, I was depressed. But like I said, because I believe in the brotherhood, a lot of them brothers that you see who have sold out or whatever you want to say, a lot of them have a conscience, and they know, even though they were willing to do whatever they had to do, when they see somebody like me, they can't really say it out loud. But once somebody gets to know me or they watch my comedy and they can read through what I'm doing, they appreciate me. So doors have opened from brothers and sisters who watch what I do, and they're like, you know, I just want to put this guy on my show. I just want to do this, that, and the other for this guy, because they know there's no place for me on the A-list, because I'll expose some of the things that the A-list, the people who pick the A-listers will not want exposed. So I already know there's not a spot for me up there. I'll never host any of those TV shows like the Grammys or anything like that. But I use an example as my brother Kevin. I don't care what anybody says about Kevin Hart. Trust me, I know Kevin Hart before all of this, and even now. Kevin Hart is a brother with a heart of gold, and everybody around him, he takes care of them. So as we watch and judge the people who are in positions on television and movies that people may point at and say, oh, he did this, he did that. Trust me, some of these brothers and sisters, I've looked them right in the eyes, and they're good people. And it's good they're in the position they're in, because they can help the people like me who need that little crack in the door. It's like your brothers, they up in there. Hey, bro, open that door just a little bit. All I need you to do is crack it, and I'm going to get through it. Because once the people see me, enough will be said. So even though being an A-lister in Hollywood comes with major sacrifice of all kinds, we can't judge them too hard. But for me, because of my personality, I think a lot of the people know coming in the door, this guy is going to be a problem. So they keep me away from the A-list. But I'm on the list that counts. It's the list with the people, because Hollywood does not give me a check every week. You know who gives me a check every week? The people. Even though I get rap for being this, that, and the other, enough of the people know. And that's really what you want. I feel better about the situation I'm in now than I would if I was an A-lister in Hollywood, because I'm recognized by the people.
And that is so key. And one of the things I also love about you, brother, I love your defense of Kevin Hart, because you said it in your previous interviews that sometimes people it's really jealousy, you know. But I love your defense, and I love how Kevin Hart even handles the hate that he receives. And what you said the same thing just now that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says about why the government can never stop him, because he says his bank is in the hearts of the people. And so as long as you stay on that path, you're gonna be right, man. So I'll say this, because I know it happens when you have people that are strong and tend to speak their mind. You have people that come to them to try to get them to temper their position, you know. And I know you being a celebrity, that there may be some celebrities that have come to you. Like, how do you respond to that and handle their efforts to try to silence you?
I mean, the truth is, I can't be silenced. I believe in myself, and that's one of the things. If we teach our people self-belief and to be realistic about who they are and what they're doing, it can conquer most of that stuff. When I'm talking to people that I know are intimidated by my belief in myself, I can pick up on them. And these instincts are in most of us. It's just we're not trained in a way to catch it. We feel it, but we don't know how to react to it. Age, wisdom has played in where it's easy for me to pick up on somebody who's speaking on me in a way where they may be trying to slow me down. I catch that right away. And if you open up your mind, I'm talking to the people out there who are listening, and you know you have this power as well. You just have to learn how to trust your instincts. I eat off instincts. I drove from Chicago to LA on a revoked license, and I'm proud of it, because I said to myself, yo, I'm gonna take a chance on myself. I'm gonna bet on myself. Trust your instincts. Be honest with yourself, and everything normally works out.
And what you just said is so many jewels, man. And so often we forsake listening to that inner voice that's actually telling us what to do. You kind of touched on this about this is one of the ways how you are not put in a situation where you need their funding. So we want to talk about your show 5150. And I'm asking all of those who are watching, go and subscribe to our brother's show. Go and hit the subscribe button, and ask others to go and hit the subscribe button as well. So what made you decide to start the 5150 show?
Always wanted to be a guy who does radio. And one time I was invited up to Jamie Foxx. Back then it was Jamie Foxx studio at the Foxhole, and I was allowed to be on an internet show. It was Speedy's Comedy Corner. Just a brother named Speedy. He's a stand-up comedian too. And I could tell, I was like, yo, I stand out at this. I'm good at this. This is something I may want to pursue for real. Long story short, the thing with the Foxhole, it collapsed a little bit, and I wasn't doing it. But ever since I had started doing it, I was like, yo, I got to get back into that. So I got the knowledge on how to start my own podcast and things like that. And ever since I started doing it, it was the success I thought it was going to be, because, yo, I mean, like, I used to be on Jamie Foxx Foxhole outlet, and my show was the most watched show. I mean, the show that I was on was the most watched show, and I know it has something to do with my personality, because I'm not dumb. I'm smart. I'm like, this is working on the radio. So it inspired me to get it done on the podcast side. So I do my 5150 show every Tuesday, which is a day during the week where I normally am back home and I can pull it off. So this whole podcast thing, I feel like I was born to run my mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's working out. And my show is, it comes with the chaos. But one thing about it, I don't run from the chaos, because like I said, I know who I am, and I believe the people can see that my intent is well. And I'm telling you, man, you have to trust yourself, man. So people see me when things go bad. People see me when things go good. I'm not afraid or ashamed to talk about what's good and bad about me. And I know it's working because, like I said, I'm able to do what I need to do in this world without the assistance of a Hollywood check. The check that I get comes from when I'm in a town and the people hear about it, they come see me. And I can't tell them how much I appreciate that. 5150.
And that is what you said is definitely true. And you talked about your show and in regards to how they see all of you. It's just not edit this out and do this. And so, as you know, recently there was an episode that went viral because of a misunderstanding that took place between you and your co-host. There was a passionate disagreement and it was all over the net, right? However, later you and the brother came together and y'all reconciled your misunderstanding that you all had. And what I found interesting was, unlike the actual conflict, the video went all viral, the reconciliation did not go all viral, right? And my question to you is, why do you think that's the case? Why do you think people were more interested in showing you all having this passionate misunderstanding, and not when you all came together as brothers and sat down and say, okay, this is what it is?
Yo, man, that's such a, I'm so glad you asked that. We are addicted to drama as a society. Us getting back together as friends, and I'm so glad we did, because I've known Brother Zoe for a long time, and sometimes squad fall out. And like I said, I'll come back to me. I know me. Listen, man, I'm not going to do anything to my squad that will keep us away from each other if I can help it. I believe Brother Zoe was this, that, and the other that's good, a whole lot of good in Zoe, but there was this thing that went bad. And I'm going to tell you something. My brother Zoe stood up in a way where I had to humble myself and be like, I never thought you would do that. And I gave him all the credit that I feel like he deserved, and will give him even more credit. But when you give people credit like that, and when you get back together, all of the negative energy is all of a sudden on pause. And people don't know what to do with that, especially the people that egg on the drama. So the media that eggs on the drama, they don't know what to do when the brothers find a way to work it out. That's not expected. What's expected is for us to hate each other forever, or maybe even kill each other, because that's what the brothers do. Brothers kill each other over beef or anything like that. So if you're not coming with the negativity, you can throw off the masses. Only the people who are about something can respond highly to brothers working it out. And I'm saying, like, yo, if you're talking about the media saying Zoe and Corey are back friends, like they were talking about me and Zoe were at each other's throat, I don't expect that at all, because I know drama and negativity is planted within the people.
Yeah, and that is true, man. But I can tell you what, we're going to use that clip to make sure we use our network to push it out, to let people know. Let's celebrate our brothers coming together and giving an example of how we can work past our differences. So we're coming up on our next 30-minute break. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the National Network View. Let's pause a moment for these brief announcements.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps to combat false media. Cash App NNV News.
This is Sister Sajda Muhammad. We are proud to announce that the Sajda House commemorative Elijah coins are finally here. As we renovate and restore the former home of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have recycled the old copper gutters and downspouts and created a 1-ounce 39mm coin made of 100% pure copper. Each coin is professionally graded and has its own barcode and registration number. This priceless heirloom, made from recycled copper from the messenger's home, is now available at sajdahouse.com.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
Thank you for tuning in to NNV News. Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Follow us on social media at NNV News, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, National Network View. This is Clifton Muhammad with NNVnews.com.
And we're back. This is your brother Willie Muhammad. And once again, we're here with our guest, Brother Corey Holcomb. So, in addition to the realness of Brother Corey, and I'm speaking to the audience, in addition to his realness as a brother and as a man and as a comedian, another reason I'm keeping it 100 with you, why I like you, is because of your support of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that's shown in this clip.
I thought Facebook was wrong for taking Minister Farrakhan off of Facebook.
Man,
I thought
they
it was
act like that
ridiculous.
man a bad guy.
Yeah.
That guy is one of the people that saved my life by listening to him talk.
His tutelage saved mine too.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of
what's
discipline
up.
he teaches. They point out things that they think is wrong or that they don't agree with. Okay, but did you see all the other stuff this man has done for the community?
Yeah.
And Brother Corey, you're not ashamed to talk about how the minister has helped you. And also in this next clip we're going to show, this was in response to you sharing your input or your view on the whole situation where Vlad intentionally misquoted the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Look, I ain't never met Minister Farrakhan personally, but the man is part of my growth. He's one of the first people I ever heard say some real that made me realize I'm not alone in this world.
Wow. And so we'll start off talking about that. You said how the minister has saved your life, and I know he saved mine. Can you talk more about specifically how he did that?
There are people in this world who have put true dedication into what they are doing, and it is recognized by people who are intelligent as well, because I watch what the minister says and does, and you really don't catch him up with the nonsense. I mean, even though there are people who try to misquote him and say things to put nonsense in his, the path that he's walking. This is what he did. No. Those of us who are smart, we know how it goes and we catch what people do. So because the minister has put real effort into what he does, real discipline into what he does, and his natural ability, a guy like me who had never heard him speak, though I had heard of him, I heard him speak one time, and I knew this is someone you should probably listen to. And I will say to those out there who's watching this interview right now, if you haven't listened to the minister speak, I'm telling you, it's like you should, because your eyes can be opened in a way where you walk a different path by listening to what another human has to say. And this is a human that you should listen to what he has to say, because the facts and a lot of things that you need in a person's mouth is coming out of this man's mouth. I'm telling you, and it's hard to really catch my ear because people talk all the time and I listen to people, but it's really going in and out. If it sticks inside of my head, it must be something really special being said. So I'm saying this to the people out there who are looking for a reason to be elite, to be what you need to be as a human being while you're alive on this planet. You should listen to people like the minister, because I heard him one time. And after I heard him one time, I was like, yo, well, here it is. Here's the guidance I've been needing my whole life that it's really hard to find access to. The guidance they have for you now, they play it on these televisions, on these cable channels and everything. And trust me, you do not need to soak that information in. You need to let that information come in and learn how to decipher what's being said. And if you listen to somebody like the minister, he can help you with that. So trust me, I heard him one time and I knew, oh, okay, I'm good now.
Wow. Thank you for those words too. And we talked about, Sway mentioned how the minister was being taken off of Instagram and Facebook. What are your thoughts as it relates to like the reasonings behind that? What would you say from your perspective?
The reason he was taken off Facebook and all those social media platforms is because he can disrupt what Facebook and all those social media platforms are designed to do, and that's misguide the people. If you listen to the minister, he can offset the intent of a Facebook, the intent of an Instagram, because he will show you what you need to know, and the truth is recognized, man. People will be like, yo, what they're doing is nonsense. I'm going to tell you something. The reason I have been allowed, that word allowed is real. The reason I have been allowed to stay on YouTube as long as I have is because I'm hiding out as a comedian. If the people from YouTube watched what I had to say, they would deem that bad business and get rid of me as well. They got rid of the minister a lot faster than they got rid of me because his message is recognized quick because he's not coming under the cover of comedian. I'm just hiding under this comedian cover. They gonna get me eventually too.
Oh man, well you definitely are doing your thing. And the title of this show is I Have a Testimony. And one of the reasons why we did it is to give people who've had the interaction with the minister or who've been able to see the minister, even though they may have not met him like yourself. But and I do see you meeting the minister one day soon. I just feel it. And so we give people the opportunity to, and let me say this, brother, you to me have the same courage of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And to me, when you said earlier about your love and not giving up on our people, man, that's the same love that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has. So it's no coincidence to me that you have that, you see the minister in the way that you see, because you have that love and you have that courage to speak and say what needs to be said. So as I was saying in the question, we ask people to share about the minister. If you were asked to talk about 3 qualities of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that you would think the world should know, what would be those 3 qualities of the minister that you think the world should know about him?
Honesty, passion, and confidence. And when we see our leaders with those qualities, man, we're in a good place, man. We're in a good place, man, because honesty, first of all, the courage to tell the truth for any human being is very, very difficult, because the life we live, a lot of times, we do not want people to know who we are. And when I say people, I'm not talking about strangers. Most men I know do not want the woman they claim to love to know who they really are. That is a problem. That is a problem in our society. So being honest as I feel like my brother, Minister Farrakhan, is really the number one quality I look for in people, who has the courage to tell the truth. And like, this is how you know somebody telling the truth, because you never hear about them getting caught up in nonsense. You know what I'm saying? My time on this planet, I see brothers get caught up in nonsense, and I understand it because we only human. But my brother, you never hear about the nonsense, and that's because he must be living his truth. Just like me, my flaws, I put them out there before somebody else put them out there. And the reason I put them out there first is because when somebody else thinks it's something new, the people can say, oh, well, he already said that about himself. You know what I'm saying? And these are strengths that I learned by, surprisingly, listen to this, the minister and some brothers from the street also told me this, brothers who don't really lie. I'm talking about pimps. We can get knowledge from people that you don't expect to give you the knowledge that can help you through life. But I'm telling you, honesty is the thing we all need to work on, especially us men out there. And I speak for most of us when I say this, who don't have the courage to tell your woman who you are.
That's powerful, man. And I'll share this to let you know just how real the minister is. I've been blessed to be in the presence of the minister several times. And the way that the minister is in public, he's 1,000,000 more % that way in private. One time we were in the city of Houston, and the minister asked a brother about T.D. Jakes. He said, how's our brother T.D. Jakes in Houston, the great pastor? And the brother was about to share some gossip that somebody had shared with him about T.D. Jakes. And before it can get out, the minister stopped him. The minister said, let me stop you. Now, mind you, the minister stopped him from saying stuff about T.D. Jakes, who is not, publicly, he doesn't come out and support the minister. He said some things against the minister. But the minister stopped him and said, let me tell you something, brother. He said, always be cautious about someone who comes to you with bad news regarding what's going on in somebody's house. And the minister said, sometimes people will drop stuff on you and you can't respond. They just blurted it out. He said, but when they do, change the subject, don't add into it, keep it moving. And this is the way that this man is in private. But I'll share one more story with you. You see the minister security team. So one day they was in a private meeting. The minister was talking to the brothers, and the minister asked the brothers, he said, would you all like some water? And the brother said, yes. So the minister asked one of the brothers, go and get everybody some water. Somebody came back. When they came back, they had Fiji water for the minister. That's considered like the good water. But they had like Mountain Peak for everybody else. So while they were handing the water out, the minister stopped him and said, brother, he said, why do they have Mountain Peak and I got Fiji water? Are you trying to say that I'm better than them in some type of way? And the minister scolded the brother that did that. But the principle that he's constantly teaching is that, and the minister believes this, brother. He not making this up. He sees us as being greater than himself. This man is not making that up. So I wanted to share that story. We're going to go to this next break. Go ahead.
I'm glad you said that. It's like, it touches me because I know, I believe it. I trust my instincts on who this man is. I've never met the minister personally, but when you tell me stuff like that, it doesn't shock me. I believe in this man, just like I was taught to believe as a young age in somebody named Jesus Christ. Now, I ain't never seen Jesus Christ. To me, he ain't came through. He's an absentee father. But my brother, the minister, that story you just told me right there, man, it touched my heart because, see, that's real to me, and I believe what you just said.
And Brother Corey, there are so many, but let me go to this break. There are so many I can share that I've witnessed myself. So we're going to go to this break, and then we'll get ready to wrap it up. But, man, thank you again. So we thank each and every one of you all who are tuning in. We thank you all for your comments. Let's pause for these brief announcements, and we'll be right back.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps us to highlight solutions for a brighter tomorrow. Go to nnvnews.com/donate.
He anointed our head with oil till our cup runneth over. He who Master Farrakhan, Muhammad, that is he.
Greetings from National Network View. This week's Final Call cover story headlines: Stool Pigeons, Sellouts, and Ops. As informants and traitors are essential tools in the plots to destroy black leaders and organizations, what can we learn of this treachery? And what do we need to know about government agents that wreak havoc in our community? The question is, why do they always go about this work? And what is the Judas factor? The Final Call Volume Number 20 middle page article by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan highlights the greatness of the Savior, Master Muhammad, to whom all praise is due forever. Happy Savior's Day. To read more, subscribe to finalcalldigital.com and tune in to the all-new Final Call Radio. This is the nnvnews.com Final Call Cover Report.
Welcome back, and we're here with our brother Corey Holcomb, and we were just talking about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Brother Corey, I know that there are people watching this who may have aspirations to even be a comedian, especially here in the city of New Orleans. I know some. What advice would you give to anybody who's watching this interview who have an interest in being a stand-up comedian?
Being a stand-up comedian, being a internet host, all of that stuff. Listen to me. Most of the time, it doesn't come easy. But anything is possible if you have honesty within yourself. Because if you don't lie to yourself, you're not going to do nothing that you're not supposed to be doing. So if you have aspirations to be a stand-up comedian, pursue it. Go hard with it. And you can't listen to people in your life that are in your life because you want them to be in your life. You listen to people that are in your life because that's where they want to be, not what you want. Want is a weird word. Most of the stuff you want ain't no good for you, man. So just remember that when you chasing your dreams. Want, what do I want? The only thing you want is the goal of being what you're trying to be. All the rest of that stuff, most of the time, it's just stuff that you collect and put in the storage and just pay for it, and it ain't even worth it no more.
Man,
take things, man. Don't be scared. It's dark out here, but don't be afraid of the dark. Learn to walk in it.
I gotta ask you this question. I stumbled across this. Man, how did you end up on Jerry Springer?
Yo, man, Jerry Springer is filmed in Chicago. And we followed this comedian brother named Damon Williams from Chicago up there. And next thing you know, man, we was on the show acting a fool because back then they used to ask the audience questions. So can you imagine when they asked me a question, those talent scouts went and got me right away. They said, get that guy. And then they had me on the show and they set me up so good. I can't do nothing but laugh about it because the first time I was on, I had to act like I liked this girl. And yo, when I was getting ready to walk on stage, this dude put some roses in my hand. It was funny, man. It was my first taste of Hollywood. Hollywood is cruel. Before you know it, you've done something you're not going to be proud of later on. So get ready for that. But I am glad I got the experience.
And as you said, the way you are now, you were the same way even on Jerry Springer. You was keeping it at 100. So how can people how can they purchase your merchandise and even follow you on social media? Because I don't know, do you have an Instagram account?
I have an Instagram account and I let my people run it a little bit. There's people out there with fake Instagram accounts and all that. But let me tell you something about the 5150. That's my thing. Just Google Corey Holcomb 5150 show. And, we sell merchandise. A lot of times it's crazy jokes or thoughts that I have on there. 5150, that's my thing. That's what I promote. I mean, I got an Instagram. I got all that. And I hope you, Corey Holcomb at Instagram and, Facebook. They took the Twitter from me. I spoke up too much on Twitter. But the 5150 show, that's how to find out what's going on with Corey Holcomb.
You mentioned earlier about how you hope that some people see the messages in your comedy. So as we get ready to close on this last question, what are the messages that you're trying to put out in your comedy? Because I think comedians are highly intelligent, man.
Yeah, there's very important things that I feel like we need to know. Just because it's not Gorilla Glue, you still don't need to put glue in your head. I say that to the sisters who are addicted to glue in their head and things like that. I'm saying that in a joking way because sometimes I put products in my head. I say that to try to get a laugh up out of the people, but I say things that are inside of my mind, and I try to be as blunt with it as I can. And come on, man, if you're intelligent, you know what to do and you know what not to do. So pay attention and don't be insecure and sensitive about what you heard from a stranger.
Brother Corey, man, I thank you, brother, for taking the time out because I know you have a very busy schedule. Once again, to those who are watching this, please go and subscribe to what our brother said, 5150 on YouTube, and support him. Support him. Whatever you see he's doing, support him because he keeps it real. So thank you, my brother. And if there's any time you're in the city of New Orleans, don't hesitate to holler, man, so we can link up to help you here in the city.
Okay, I will. And I'm proud of you and your people, man. Y'all keep doing it, man. We really need the young brothers who head is screwed on right to be seen because they're not going to show you in the mainstream. They show us through the back door, but this back door is getting bigger and bigger. So keep doing what you're doing, man, until that back door, they ain't even got a door to fit it no more. You just out there.
Thank you, my brother. And also I salute to our brother Rizza Islam as well. Thank you, brother Corey. May God continue to bless you with success, my brother.
Okay, may God continue to bless you as well. And to all of the ladies, when I come to New Orleans, I'll see you in Walmart.
Oh man, the Walmarts in New Orleans are wild, y'all. They do all type of bounce videos and everything. So we'll get ready to close out. Before we close out, we're going to make an announcement. On next Sunday, we won't have a show. It's Savior's Day weekend, so we won't have a show. We'll be starting back inshallah on March the 7th with a special guest. We want to confirm it. But thank you all. Make sure you all register for Savior's Day 2021. And we thank you all for we thank our brother Corey Holcomb for coming in. Thank you for tuning in to I Have a Testimony. Continue to please share, post your comments, follow us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, NNV News Network. And this is Brother Willie Muhammad. Peace.
God came to us to seek and to save that which was lost. He raised a man from among us.
He, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, laid the foundation. What I'm doing is something that comes from him through me, and the thing that he uses in me to do the work is my faith in him and the word that he taught. To produce men and women who wanted to clean up their life and build an independent nation for the glory of God.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps to combat false media. Cash App NNV News.